Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John with Flipping Ain't Easy, another pop-up live. I told you guys we're going to be doing a lot of these every so often. Couple of reasons for doing the pop-up live. Reason number one, and I failed to tell you guys this on Monday's live, that we're not doing one on Friday. And the reason is, of course, you guys know my plight. I am in Vegas, and friends are, they come into town and sort of expect you to entertain, and that I'm going to do. So good close friends. So Friday is going to be out, and unless Jenna changes her mind and decides to jump on here at 3 o'clock, don't lose any sleep over it, because she's not probably not going to do that. So I just wanted to do this live. I don't know how long we're going to be on. Just really depends on your interaction, how many people we get, the questions, the discussion. The main topic at hand, and I kind of want to wait for some people to roll in. We only got a few people so far. Looks like we have Josh Galt in here with us from the bustling metropolis of Thorold, Ontario. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to hang out. I think you're at your son's baseball game, so root him on and have him hit a home run for me. With that said, wanted to talk about the eBay International Shipping Program. Now, the eBay International Shipping Program is one that you guys know I have my mixed feelings about. I do use it on my second account because we have a lot of smaller things. We have clothing, we have shoes, we have a lot of smaller hard goods that I don't put on my main account. My main account, you see behind me, I have toilet seats. I'm not shipping this to Italy, okay? They can find their own way to use the restroom out in Italy. We've got boxes of things that are like this, trinkets, widgets that are just too big to ship beyond the continental United States. Now, this is where it kind of intrigues me. This change that eBay made was about, I'd say, a week ago. And I believe they announced it on the seller check-in, but you actually, I believe, had to go to that particular room or whatever they had set up, that chat, before or after that live event for eBay International Shipping. Now, I do have a link down below that you can go to see the video yourself. If you have any questions, the presenter will probably do a better job of covering than I am. But here are the key things that I think are important, and the key changes that you guys need to be aware of. Now, you guys know how this program works, at least I hope you do, where if you're enrolled in the International Shipping Program and your shipping policies are set up to where you offer no international shipping, okay? Because if you offer international shipping and you're opted in, it kind of screws things up for that item using that shipping policy. So you have to be opted out of international shipping, meaning that you're telling eBay that you're not shipping internationally. You're going to allow eBay to do it through the International Shipping Program. Now, with that said, they have added Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii to the eBay International Shipping Program. Now, you might say, well, how is that even possible? These are all part of the United States. Puerto Rico is not a state, but it's a protectorate. It is, you can ship U.S. mail to all these locations, but they have added it for those who have excluded. So you go into your shipping policies, right? And maybe you have excluded Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii from shipping to that location. Let's say I want to ship these, and this is where it's intriguing to me. Say I want to ship one of these toilet seats to Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii. Do you know how much it costs to ship this toilet seat just with discounted rates through FedEx? Well, it can't do FedEx. Through USPS Ground Advantage. It costs $97 to ship this particular one. I'm not selling it for that much, of course. So it's intriguing to me. It's kind of allowing me to pass on that cost to the buyer. So ultimately, I set up, I opt into this program, which I'm not going to yet. I'm going to kind of see how things play out for other people and my other account. But I then ship it to the domestic hub, which is in Illinois. And then from there, eBay then sends it to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, or Alaska. And you're only paying for the shipping to Illinois. So that in itself is a huge development, and something, if you're not opted in, something to really consider, so that, you know, maybe that large item that, like, there's no way I'm going to ship to these locations, you can actually go in and now ship to those locations, opt in through the program. Now, again, go in to check at the link down below. It'll kind of tell you all the things you need to know on kind of the steps to take. But I'm just here to tell you that it is, and then they didn't give a date. So I'm assuming that this is sort of in play right now, where you can go in and make that change. I think it's pretty big, because there's a lot of items that we have that are just unrealistically too expensive to ship outside of the continental United States. And that's why it's intriguing to me here. And you enjoy all the international shipping protections for those locations. So once you ship it to the hub in Illinois and it shows delivered, you're good. Doesn't matter what happens. I mean, that item can be lost from the time they ship it from Illinois to Hawaii. Like, I had one that was like, took forever, and that's not your problem anymore. That's eBay is going to cover you through their protections. Another change that they've made is combined shipping has been expanded to more categories, including cell phones, laptops, toys, and electronics. And, you know, that allows you to, you know, combine all the shipments or all the orders to one buyer in one order, rather than, I believe, before you had to ship separately for each one of those. And it just increases the cost to your buyer as well. Now, make sure that everything fits, no more than a 48-inch length on the package, no more than 84 inches length and girth on the package, 44 pounds maximum weight, unless you're shipping to Canada, which is 66 pounds. So that's the stuff that you need to know about the EIS. That's the eBay International Shipping Program, and that will kind of get you started. But I'm really intrigued, though, about the Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico development, where it's really going to be really a game changer, because you're kind of just now passing that cost on, the extra cost, onto the buyer. They want it bad enough, then okay, fine, I'll ship it to you, rather than, you know, spending $97 to ship an item out of your own pocket. I think that's pretty big. So put your comments and your questions down below about that. Also, any reselling, you know, questions that you have, or, you know, maybe you want to share some stuff, put that down below as well. Last night was about to turn in. Was kind of going through my different feeds on Instagram and YouTube, and I came across Ed Zigler, his video, Hustle and Grow, and he has his own channel. It's not a very big channel, but he's been on this channel as a guest. He has been in the chat on my channel, Josh's channel, Bearded Picker's channel, and of course other reselling channels. So he's a I'd say a big part of the community. He's been an active part of the community. And of course, he puts out his own videos to kind of give his insights, and he's, you know, trying to build his channel up and everything. And the video I came across last night basically was a shocker to me. It you know, it made me really think. It kept me up for a couple hours. I was trying to go to sleep, and I was just thinking of his situation. It really kind of shook me as to how easy it is to think that everything's going well, and then, you know, something like his situation, like a fire that they didn't even cause, was an abandoned home 2 houses over, that I guess someone caught fire, or so. I don't know how it started, but that fire engulfed the neighbor's house, and the neighbor's house got their house. And like 11 o'clock at night, I think one of his sons said, "Hey, something's burning." And they go to find out, oh, this isn't good. We need to get out. And they got their essentials. They got everyone out. And, you know, to their dismay, you know, they pretty much lost everything. I mean, even in parts of the home that may not have burnt, you have all that smoke damage. You know, there's no really recovering. And we're talking about things that maybe can't be replaceable. There's a lot of things that they have to be dealing. They're going to be dealing with. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and thankfully, his business he does his business remotely on a different location. Don't know if it's in a storage unit or in a small warehouse or an office building. Not quite sure, but his merchandise was not affected. But can you imagine going through something like that? Your attention's not going to be on your business. Knowing Ed and his just go mentality, he's going to keep doing the best that he can, right? But there is going to be an impact on him and his family for the next few weeks. Just the inconvenience of it all, for lack of a better word, and just the chaos of it all. And thankfully, his wife's, she's a teacher, so she's not going to work over the summer. They have summer break. His kids are off on summer break, so that eases it a little bit, right? But I think what kind of really got me, and I immediately reached out to Josh and to Bearded Picker and said, hey guys, if nothing's been set up yet, let's try to do something here. And so, I had a round of golf planned this morning. The weather is like great today, so it's one of the first and only days I'm going to have to do that. And so I already had obligated myself to do that. So I went this morning, did that. It was still on my mind, and got home, talked to the guys, and found out that Ed and I guess his brother, and I've been in contact with Ed as well, have set up GoFundMe accounts. So you may see two different ones, but they're all good. They're both the same. His brother set up one. He set up one. The link that I have down below is one that he set up. Now, this is my request to you guys, to you out there watching, who feels like you're a part of the reseller community. Maybe, you view this channel, maybe not so much his, or you've interacted with him or seen him in the chat, that type of thing. Do me a favor. If you can donate even a small amount, please do. I would like to think that if anything like this were to happen to me or my family, that the community would step up and be there. But I understand that there's going to be times where you just can't do it. We're here to make money on eBay. Times are tough for some sellers, and it would be unfair of me to just make you feel bad if you cannot, go and donate something to the cause. But if you can't, at least go over to his channel. The link's also down below in this live stream, and go in, and it'll link you to the video he made talking about a situation, so you kind of have more detail about what happened, and get in there and just show him some love, show him some support. And I think that will really mean a whole lot to him. And if we can collectively come together, whether it's financially or just through our support verbally, I think that would really, really make the whole ordeal he's going to be going through here a little bit easier to deal with. So that's what I got, and I really do appreciate you guys for being here. We have like 70 people that are watching, and just would mean the world to me if you guys would collectively step up, even if it's $1. I think you can go in and edit. Take GoFundMe. You can go in and put whatever amount you want. They'll put their little recommended amounts and all that. But also, one thing that I saw is that there's a GoFundMe tip. Anybody ever see that? I went in and backed that out. It's like, no, a GoFundMe, I believe they take like 3%. So it's not that bad. But who am I tipping? It's sort of like when you go to a restaurant, and not even a restaurant, like a fast food place, and you're ordering like something like a soda, and then there's an option to tip somebody. It's like, you're just ringing me up. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just me and the old school mentality, but everyone wants to tip you nowadays, and hidden fees, this and that. So just be careful there. I would rather you take that extra money that you would have tipped and make sure that Ed gets it, because they really are going to need as much support as they can get. So let's see who else we have here. We have Henri Squaw with us. Says howdy, thanks for being here, Henri Squaw. Emporium, etc. Jim, thanks for being here, Jim. Not as bustling as Kenosha, Wisconsin. Well, we had a really good, I think you guys are hotter up northeast than we are here in Vegas. It's low 90s. So I'm sure you guys can beat that. It was just a great day out on the golf course. And, I was hitting some bad golf shots, and normally I'd kind of beat myself up and go, man, you're a bad golfer. But, thinking about that was constantly on my mind for like the first half of my round, the situation with Ed. And it gave me perspective. And I think sometimes this type of thing that you see other people go through can give you perspective that there's always somebody out there that has it worse than you, and I'm sure Ed can look at it and go, well, you know what? We made it out with our family. There's some stories you see where that doesn't even happen. So you just got to put things that you deal with in perspective, and hopefully that resonates with somebody out there. We have Midnight Merchant. Hey, thanks for being here, Midnight Merchant. Vinyl Rob says, exactly when do you know you have international shipping privileges? So you go into your account on eBay, and where it shows your name up in the top left, you go to account settings. And that account settings, you go down to, I believe it is, what is it? Is it shipping preferences? Am I wrong? Yes, shipping preferences. And then eBay International Shipping, it'll say enroll or enrolled. If you're enrolled, you're good to go. And if you have enroll, that means that you're not enrolled, and you need to click that action button and set everything up. And from what I recall, because I made a video on this, but I haven't touched international shipping on this account in quite some time. I enabled it for the other one. You got to make sure that your international shipping is no longer enabled within your individual shipping policies that you use if you're enabling international shipping, because your international shipping within your business policy overrides the enrollment part of it, if that makes sense. And then, of course, set up your excluded areas. So if you are excluding on let's say you have international turned off and you want to ship to now Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, make sure those are excluded, and eBay will still send it to those locations. Now, what's kind of weird is, though, I think a lot of times we would exclude an item because it's a prohibited item for that location. Let's say something that has to do with like handguns to New York, we would exclude for that item New York, right? So how is eBay, and I don't know if any of those locations, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, have any special exclusions on items, or maybe items that they don't allow you to ship. So I'm wondering how they handle that. Maybe they just look at it on a case-by-case basis, and if it's something that's not supposed to be shipped, they just send it back, or they don't allow it to begin with. I don't know. I don't have enough information on that, but that should be how at least you go in and just check to see if you're set up for EIS. Bobby's Kicks 2023 says, hello from Kentucky. Thanks for being here. We got Brett. Thanks for being here, buddy. Hey, from the OC. Appreciate you being here. We got Yvette Clay, Long Island, New York here. Long Island. Yeah. Watch a guy named Long Island Audit out there on YouTube. He's out in Long Island. Talon Fisher, what are the best ways to scale eBay business? Well, the best way is sourcing. That's the best way. If you don't have lined up consistent sourcing, you're going to be kind of hit and miss. It's going to be really tough. Depending on your business model, if you're building a big store, I guess you can just start unloading whatever, buy whatever you can and get it in your store. If you're into that model, which as for a new reseller, I do not recommend. I would say be very frugal in what you're buying it as low as you can, and buy something with as high ASP, which is average sale price. So when you're looking at your solds, you see, wow, this thing's selling for $75 for a bunch of people. I pick it up for $5, I'm going to make a good profit. Those are the kind of items you need to be picking up, and pass on the $5 items that only get you 20. Okay. And build on the higher end items. That way you don't have to have a huge store to make a good profit. I only have 200 items in my store. Last 31 days, I'm at 14. I have had a couple bad days with Father's Day and yesterday, and today is not all that great. So we're at $14,300 for 200 items in the last 30 days. So if someone like me can do it, you can, but it really starts with your sourcing. If you have good sourcing, that's going to take you where you want. Major wins is, man, late to every live today. It's all right. You know me and my diatribe, so you're good. Thank you for being here, Doug. How's everyone doing? That's my question. I hope everyone's fine. No one designed. Ken's with us. Holy moly, the toilet seat box is doubled. By the time Friday Live comes along, the toilet seat will be doing the live. It might need to do the live because this is kind of one reason I'm doing the live right now. This might be the only thing in the room on Friday because I have obligated myself to sort of hang out with some friends. I want to do it. I want to go hang out, maybe play a couple poker tournaments with some friends. And I'm not going to be here for the live. Jenna is very reluctant on doing the lives by herself. And it's highly doubtful that she will jump in here and do the live. So we may not have the live on Friday, like 95% sure we're not doing it on Friday, but we will be back on Monday to do our normal lives. Yvette Clay, he has a mountain full of seats. Yes, a mountain full of seats. And I really had to take a closer look at my pricing structure. I lowered the prices a little bit. I think one strategy a lot of people use with multi-quantity is they start off taking a lower price point than they would normally take if they're just selling one, right? And then get a few sales under their seat. And then as you get sales on a multi-quantity listing, it generates, it pretty much tells eBay that, well, this is a popular listing. There's a lot of attention to it. People really like this item. And so you can then maybe pull up your price a little bit more towards where you're hoping for. I've seen that happen. Momentum really happens on those multi-quantity listings. So that's kind of what my strategy is going to be. No One Design says, I wonder if John wants to do a voiceover with the toilet seat on his chair while Jenna's next to it. I mean, he is almost there turning into a toilet seat. I hope not. Bobby's Kicks to 2023 had a cool sale on eBay yesterday. Sold a pair of cleats to an MLB player. That's interesting. Mind sharing the name of the player? Of course, we don't need anything more than that. But it's sort of odd because a lot of those athletes, those players of any sport, they usually have a contract with the shoe company, and they get their cleats pretty much for free. You know, they sometimes get their own model. Midnight Merchant, thankful everyone survived and he is okay. Yes, we are too. It would be really, I talking about being shook about someone losing their house, someone had any injury or loss of family, that would be just, and I don't even know it all that well, right? But, beside him being on the channel and we've, having some conversations, checking out his channel. I think that, just hearing something like that would have been devastating. So thankfully that didn't happen. Bobby's Kicks, glad to hear no one was hurt. I think we all are very, very relieved about that. Major Win says, we had so many friends lose homes out here in the Thomas fires, a lot of tears and rebuilding. And, it just dealing with the insurance companies. Let's say you are insured. I had a break-in back in 2012 where they stole, my fire safe that had some stuff in it, had a lot of things that they went in and they took. You feel violated, right? Of course, is a kind of different feeling, but the insurance companies are fighting tooth and nail to give you as little as they can for the items that, cost you quite a bit of money. So, I can imagine Ed's going to have to be going through that and dealing with insurance companies, and just being made whole again is going to be a challenge. So I think that, having these GoFundMe accounts set up will give people the opportunity to, give what they can and help them kind of bridge the gap, because I've seen it, I've done it. The insurance companies aren't on your side, and it's going to be really hard pressed to get full value for the items that are no longer, there or smoke damaged. Yvette says, resellers are a family group, no doubt. We all go through a lot of things together. We go through a lot of similar things together. We go through, the bad buyer here and there. We go through eBay's issues, right? Like eBay is doing this to my account, or I feel like eBay is doing this to my account. But we all come together to try to figure things out. And I don't think it should be limited to eBay problems. I think sometimes there's life problems. And I'm glad Ed did speak out and made a video about it to tell us about it, to give the community an opportunity to come together and say, hey, we're standing behind you. So that was my initial reaction. And, you just feel good about helping somebody. Urethra Franklin says, thank you for bringing attention to Ed's story, John. He's such a kind, generous man with a very large family that has been, I imagine, traumatized by this. Yeah, I am sure they have. I mean, can you imagine? Ed is a very strong man. He is a lot like me. I see a lot of me in him, in that things bother him and he just gets focused. He gets focused. So I know what he's probably going to be doing, when things start to settle down a little bit. He's going to be focusing himself so he doesn't have to think about it. He's going to internalize a lot of this. Even speaking out about it on the video he put out last night, I'm sure is somewhat therapeutic, but it's not. He's just going to keep moving forward. And I just imagine how his kids are going to be, how his wife is going to be. There's going to be a lot of emotion, and it's unsettling. Kids don't know what's going on, and I can imagine this could be something that could be traumatic for them for quite some time, and I think of that too. So yeah, Ed's a great guy. I can tell you this, I wouldn't be pushing it as much as I am if I didn't know that. If we're talking about a reseller scammer, I mean, I'd feel bad, right? But I'd let someone else take the lead here. There's a lot, the majority of the community are good people. And so I'm going to do what I can. I mean, I already contributed, but I really think that even if I couldn't, just supporting him with, kind words, so after this live, please guys, maybe you've never seen him before. He's a great guy. I mean, go check out his channel. He has a lot to say. He sells a lot of different things like Walmart. He does a lot of Walmart sales, FBA type, where he buys a lot of like health and beauty and sends it in, right? So it's, some of us can't really relate with that part of the business, but a lot of what he says does carry over to eBay, and he does sell on eBay. Don't get me wrong. Go and show some support. Maybe put a kind word in the video that I have linked down below, just showing him some support. And if you like his channel, subscribe. And that's really all I can ask. Jenna says, this channel is filled with FAA family. Now let's do what family does and support our friend Ed and his family. Fires don't just impact our lives for a few days, weeks, or months. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Ed and his wife are going to get through it just fine. I'm worried about the kids that don't quite understand. I'm sure they're going to do what they can to help them understand what's going on. But that stuff that happens to you when you're a kid, it hangs with you. This is something they'll never forget. It's always going to be with them for the rest of their lives. And maybe, just maybe, it's going to make them stronger on how to handle adversity when it happens. Mad Hatter's Boutique, Brett, where do you set up combined shipping on eBay shipping program? I had a guy buy 2 jerseys and paid $120 each, and I wanted to combine them, but since he already paid the shipping, I ship separate. So it's all category specific according to the video that I watched, the one that's linked down below. If it's eligible, it will give the buyer that option. So it'll say 1 shipping charge for both jerseys. You'll see them both combined when you're shipping. And if you see that, then you know that you only have to produce 1 label. But it may not be set up yet for jerseys or anything like that. Urethra, also Ed's channel is monetized. This would be a great opportunity to check out his content, and the AdSense would be a help for those of us who are not in the position to donate. You'll learn a lot. That's kind of what I'm saying. Go over there, check out his content. Start off by the video below, kind of hear what he has to say, what he's going through, and then go check out some of his other content. And that support, that's not going to cost you a dime, but would really matter, I think, big time for Ed. So I'd certainly appreciate if you guys would do that. As Jenna would say, this could impact them for some time to come. And then we have Christine Everyone Anderson. Yes, my Irish Norwegian self is dying in Madison, Wisconsin. It's 90, but feels like 99. And I'm sure that's a little humidity to go with that. We are right at 91, so we're there with you without the humidity. But, this day is a reprieve from the heat. This is actually a good day. 91 degrees in Vegas in mid-June is like unheard of, so we'll take it. And I was going to say, Jenna says, OMG, Urethra, where have you been? Of course, you come when I'm not there. Miss you. So yeah, where have you been, Urethra? You've been lurking. If you have been, please make sure you are, stopping by to say hi on the lives at the very least. Mike Gertis says, Mad Hatter, you can combine individual purchases from the same buyer under bulk ship tool. Use desktop and click notification bell, then page ship now. Top left will highlight combined shipping. But I'm thinking he is asking about the international shipping program. So is that something that would work for his jerseys? And from what I watched on the video that is linked down below, it does make a point that it will show you that this buyer has multiple purchases and they're combinable. So it should be pretty much self-explanatory. Urethra says, Miss Flippin' Ain't Easy. I miss you too. I'm part of your replay gang. Been super busy. Yeah, we 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. It does probably fly into the face of people's schedules, and it might be tough for everyone to get to. But you know what? Even if you're watching after the fact, just drop a comment. Says, hey, how you guys doing, or whatever would be nice. Seeing a lot of the old faces and just wondering, like, where have they been? And I know that life makes things difficult, but just check in with us once in a while, darn it. Hill Valley Vintage says, slow and steady to scale. Yeah, slow and steady to scale. It's not an overnight thing. You cannot, well, I can't say you cannot. It is very difficult to just start one day and just overnight, you're just killing it, right? You have to build it. You just have to take steps, and you're going to find that it's going to be slow at first, and you're going to build your account health with eBay. You're going to show eBay through the sales that they do give you that you can take on more volume. And as you do that, you put up good stuff, right? Good in, good out. Then you'll find that it's going to be a lot easier. Now, if you run into a lot of the same mistakes that I made and others have made, where we're just trying to list everything because I've seen that it's sold before, it gives you hope that maybe this one will sell, despite the fact that there's dozens right now on. That is a mistake that you need to try to avoid, because you're going to really slow down your overall account health when that happens. Pardon my dogs. We have the mailman at the door. They always trigger them to bark, so I apologize for that. Yard sale steals 300. I'm sad that people in those 3 locations have to pay surcharges they never used to have to pay. Yeah. You mean Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Alaska? If the seller doesn't ship to those locations and they want to now pay a lot extra, because we know eBay's international shipping program ain't cheap, it gives them that option. So like a lot of items, if I go right now and opt in to eBay international shipping on these toilet seats, I'm only shipping it to Illinois, and I'm only taking on the expense of shipping it to Illinois. That buyer's paying for the shipping to Illinois because I charge calculated, and they're paying for shipping to Hawaii, Alaska, Puerto Rico. That might work for me, and that is appealing. Jenna, hello FAFM. Hope you all having a great start to the week, and I completely understand. Urethra, I hope you're killing it. I do too. I want to see everyone succeed. I know that's not possible, but the idea that collectively we can root each other on, even though we're kind of in competition with each other, yet we're kind of not. So let's all do the best that we can. Tommy Z says, John, thank you for the live. No, thank you for being here, Tommy. Was something I wanted to do. I didn't want to do it until I had the GoFundMe information, but I wanted to be able to put some kind of a meeting. Let's have a team meeting, right? We're all resellers in this community. Let's have a team meeting. Let's get together. Let's discuss the changes with EIS and talk about the situation with Ed. So just to kind of create awareness. And I'm not going to make this a video where we continually talk about his situation, because I mean, he's going to heal. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep his YouTube channel going, from what I understand, and I'll let him kind of put out the updates for that. We got Major Wen says 199 gratitudes. Thank you so much for the super chat. I would so much prefer, and I'm not. Look, I love your super chats. I love them. But I think any money right now, let's send over to Ed through maybe you can even go and do a super thanks. If you don't want to deal with GoFundMe, maybe you go to one of his videos and do there's an option that's a super thanks, and that would be something that would mean a lot. And but thank you so much. I appreciate the kind gesture. It's awesome of you. Let's see. Michael Norton. Hello, posting and listening. I have so many things to post. Thank you for your show. No, thank you for being here, Michael. I know how it is. You're working, you got the YouTube on, and just listening while you work, and it gets you through it, right? It's a grind. And that's why I have a TV out in my garage. We have a TV out in her shipping station, right? Where we can have that. It's sort of like we're entertained without being distracted. That makes sense. Talon Fisher, what items do you sell the most off in those 30 days you were talking about? Like a lot of these, not this particular model toilet seat, because I just got these in. We just got about 60 to 70, mostly blue ones. We have like 10 to 12 orange ones, orange and white. These are like a teal and white. Imagine that being in your bathroom. I think that's probably why they're not going to sell so fast, because of the colorways. But we have a lot of that. We have auto parts, various random auto parts that we sell, luggage racks for cars. Pet supplies, just various, like you look at my store value trends, you go, wow, this is like a lot of random stuff. But it just turns out that it's random stuff that doesn't have some of it doesn't have a lot of competition. And I can get it at a pretty good price point and make a pretty decent profit off it. So it's working well for us. And thankfully, another one of my suppliers has actually, it seems like they've improved lately. So I might be buying actual full pallets here pretty soon. Got to give myself a little time to actually dive back into that. Tommy Z says, John has the largest toilet seat collection of anyone I know. Well, and that's just it. I'm not trying to collect these things. I'm trying to sell them. So I'm into these for about $6 a piece. And I realized that there's a market for teal toilet seats and orange toilet seats. And they're probably not as, the market's probably not as lucrative as, say, a just standard white, gray, or blue, like a solid blue toilet seat. From the experience that I have, I have no problem selling those things. So I thought, okay, buy these up. They're all sealed. Don't have to, just aside from bringing these in and stacking them, I don't have to do anything. They're ready to go. I don't have to inspect. Of course, we don't clean toilet seats. We don't accept used toilet seats. They have to be new. But sometimes the boxes are all torn to hell. These are perfect. These boxes are great. So maybe my price point goes down to, in the 40s plus shipping rather than 60, which is what I was hoping for. But we find a price point and we make it work. That's the key. When you're churning, it's like you have no attachment to these things. The goal, a lot like the acrylic cases I had last summer. I had a lot of acrylic baseball cases, football cases, basketball cases. And I was thinking to myself, these things ain't going to sell. And guess what? They sold. So I'm going to have the same mindset and the same, I'm not going to look at it like we haven't sold any in the 5 days that they've been listed. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that they go and they're out of here in a timely manner. Got any glow in the dark seats? No glow in the dark seats. I would love for someone to invent like the seat that makes random sounds. You sit on it and it's like, oh, or just something crazy. Maybe it's just me being silly, but I think that would be a funny thing to put in your guest bathroom to maybe surprise some people. Duncan VR says, my supplier is sending me 85 letters and documents from the 1700s. This will add value to my store. Good sales here. How are yours? So you're killing it out there in Australia, Duncan. Ever since Father's Day came, it's been kind of spotty. Now, during the live, I didn't hit the like button, but I got a sale, sold a dog wheelchair. It's random, right? Dog wheelchair. What? It's a contraption that hooks up to your pet, and it enables them to get around when their hind legs go out. And their hind legs kind of are tucked up, and they have wheels in place of their legs so they can run around. It's actually pretty cool. So we get that every once in a while. Victor Robles for the Mariners. Okay, that's the baseball player that, he was playing for, Victor Robles was playing for the Nationals, and he just recently got traded. And he was a pretty hot prospect for a while. And I'm surprised he doesn't have his own. Maybe he was buying for a family member or something, but that's pretty cool nonetheless. Matt Hatter says it's all about the Toto toilets. When I own a house, I'm getting heated seats, all the extra. Every toilet in Tokyo, even the train stations are heated. Such a nice feature, but you really don't need it in Southern California. Major Win says you can start a secondary store, John's. That's funny. Christine says there's also a museum of historical torture devices, and yes, I've been. As a sane person, it's a core trauma memory. It is effed up in there. Yeah, there's some things you really never want to experience as a kid. I'm sure that's one of them, right? But trauma of any kind is just it's going to carry over. And I mean, even through therapy, it's going to resonate. Maybe it's an experience that kids will never forget, and maybe it can be a positive for them. Like, you know what, this happened. We grew stronger because of it. And let's hope that's what happens. Let's see. Basket Noodle. Gee, we all do get around. I just ate my dinner. I haven't had mine yet, but I'm sure we're on a different side of the world. Mike Gertis, no, you can't combine international. I have to create bundle listings for international. Annoying, but the only way. Check out the video and the link down below. It's not a long one, but it's one of the changes that they've made. And a lot of categories have not allowed you to combine eBay international shipping. Now, according to them, they have added the ability to combine shipping for cell phones, laptops, toys, and electronics. I don't know what categories were before that. But if you sell in any of those categories, those are categories that they've set it up for. And like a lot of things that eBay's done, they kind of roll it out. It's based by category. You have a category manager that oversees their category, and they establish their item specifics, which means that that category is a different item specific setup than, say, another similar category. So just be on the lookout for more changes. If you don't sell those things, then it's still not going to allow you to combine shipping. Basket Noodle says eBay raised my limits to 5 million items or $5 million a month. They'll do that. I know that. I've been at $2 billion actually 2 billion listings, and I'm at only 500,000 on my main account. I have an established account since like this one's 2015, I think. Mike Seller, thanks for being here, Mike. Nice to see you. We have Nick Rinaldi says patience is so critical for a beginner. To know nothing and just look up hundreds of items in a thrift is a great way to learn that not many are willing to do. And it's putting in that work. It's putting in the work. It's why I really haven't been able to do RA. Like Bearded Picker, he does retail arbitrage, where he'll go into stores and find stuff that's discontinued and things that people can't find anymore, things that people are willing to pay up on. He'll buy for like $3. He'll sell it for like 40, 50, 70, 80, 100 or more. And it's going through and learning the SKUs, what items you can do that for and what items you can't. And I found myself trying to do that, and it was just taking me away from my main core business, which is working already. So why would I want to step out of my lane to get into somebody else's lane? But in this case, if you're starting eBay for the first time and you really don't have an idea of what to sell, get in there and do your homework. The folks that are going to do the work are going to find the success. Major Wednesday jumping back in, already sent money to Ed. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are so great to not only this channel, but I see that you're great to other channels too. So thank you for being a great part, the good part of this community. Unfortunately, we do have some bad apples, that are in the community, and it's folks like you and others that push those people to the side. So thank you for that. Yvette Clay started reselling in March, slow and steady. Everyone talks it slow till Q4. Can you explain Q4? So think of it in terms of what is the one time a year where people tend to buy more things. And that in general is Q4. People are buying for the different holidays. Could be Hanukkah, could be, I mean, majority of the people are buying for Christmas, Christmas holiday. And you get a lot of people who are buying stuff to put under the tree for family members, right? Extra buying activity that doesn't normally happen. And that's what you see for a lot of items in Q4. Now, for me, last year, Q4 wasn't my best, the best time of year at all. In fact, we kind of slowed down a lot in Q4. A lot more want type items, and people give me flack for talking need versus want, but a lot of want type items are bought in Q4 because you're buying the thing that, hey, what do you want for Christmas? It's not what do you need for Christmas, it's what do you want for Christmas. And you get a lot of people buying things for others, those wants for others. So just know that if you're going to stock up on toilet seats for Q4, it may not be the best strategy. Find things, use TerraPeak, or it's product research in your app. TerraPeak on the PC, product research on the app. Go back, let's say look up an item, go back 3 years, and there's a chart, and go to the chart and see, oh, this item does well in Q4, October, November, December. Well, it doesn't do so well in the summer. Well, those are the kind of items that you buy for Q4. Use the tools that eBay gives you. I think it's also part of doing the work. Put the work in, do the research. That way it's not foreign to you when you're out and about sourcing. Thanks for being here, Major Win. I think you're heading out, but nice to see you. Thanks for 45 minutes has already passed. It's hard to believe, but thank you so much for being a part of this channel and supporting a ton of YouTube channels. I appreciate you. Sidekick Comics says, catch you live for the first time. You're a straight shooter. I enjoy your content. Well, thank you, Sidekick. Certainly, my thing is, you guys are way too smart. Okay, someone tries to blow smoke, you guys are going to see right through it, there's no point. There's no point in coming on here in front of everyone and just not telling you like it is. I had someone. Wasn't going to mention this, but I guess I will. Someone in one of my recent videos put some kind of a smart remark about Bearded Picker and myself, and how we're only making these videos for the money, and just a smart remark. And it's like, come on, okay, if you feel that way, why are you watching? If you don't trust that we're at least in some way helping others, then maybe you shouldn't. There's so much content on YouTube. Why are you watching my video? And I kind of had to ask him that. And it's just, it just does no good to, I'll come out and tell you, I'm making $500 some odd this month in YouTube. It's not killing me. It's not the end of the world. I made double that 2 years ago on YouTube. It's not what drives me. It's nice. It's cool to get a deposit from YouTube AdSense, every month. It would be nicer if there was a bigger deposit, but it ain't going to drive me into making just nonsense videos just for the sake of, wasting your time to watch the nonsense and just to make a quick buck. So hopefully you guys see that, and apparently you do. So thank you, Sidekick, for being here. Don't be a stranger. Check out our lives on Mondays and Fridays, not this Friday though. Basket noodle, orange and white toilet seat, creamsicle. Yeah, creamsicle. I was thinking that someone was saying, well, you could sell it to a Denver Broncos fan or a who else uses orange, like a Giants fan, San Francisco Giants fan, or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, or something like that. But this isn't a toilet seat that you would just install in your toilet. This is for like elderly or someone that's disabled, where you can put it next to your bedside. You can sit on it and lift. There's like a little flap that comes out, like a plastic insert that comes out. And there's a pan underneath where you can just let it fly right by your bedside. Or if you have the wherewithal, you can carry that. It has handles, handles. You can carry it into your restroom. If you ever needed handles in your restroom, you have all the handles you need. Or you could put that into your shower. So if you need maybe you're not stable standing in the shower, maybe you could sit in the shower. So it does all those things. It's kind of cool, multifunctional. But I also thought that, it'd be a great way to maybe hunters can have a toilet in the outdoors and use it and stand out to other hunters where they don't think they're like a deer or whatever, right? Talon Fisher says, I really appreciate your advice in answering my question. My store is 63 listed, 96 sold, slowly learning, about a year in, but feel like I should be further learning ways to source for sure. So those are solid numbers for a fairly new seller. When I look at a store, I'm looking at, I always do this too, by the way. When I'm looking at a store, I will look at their other items for sale, and we'll see how many items they have listed. Okay, 63. And then I'll go in and click on the sold tab down the side. This is on the PC, or maybe through the filter. I don't really do it so much on the app, but you could filter it out with the solds on the app and get the number of how many have they sold in the last 90 days. And a lot of times that same 63 item store will have like 20, right? And you're like, okay, well, they have some things to do. If you're doing 96 sold with 63 listed, you're on the right track, right? So that tells you that you're buying the right items, you're pricing them good. You just got to go in and learn the best practices. If you can access it, access the listing quality report. It's under the seller hub, under performance. It'll be to the far right side, upper right side, and there'll be a little bubble that'll say download. Download that, check it out, and eBay will tell you, here are the things you need to improve on these listings. Follow the advice. They're the ones running the algorithm. I think they would be the ones that would be able to give you more information on to improve. But keep grinding. It is a grind. It's not an overnight thing, but you're on the right track. Nick Rinaldi says, I mean this as a fellow reseller, and not to be a jerk, but if your items aren't desirable, the fourth quarter won't make them sell. Sales increase for the holidays if you have the right stuff. And it always boils down to the right stuff. The right stuff in Q4 may not be the right stuff in the summertime. That's why we call it the summer slowdown. I do well in the summer historically. I don't know why the last few days I haven't done so hot, but generally I do so well in the summer, and I have my best months in the summer, and I just don't have the same good months in October, November, and December. Knock on particle board here that maybe that will change this year. And I think that there's something to the idea that some items are more seasonal than others. But Nick is exactly right. You buy the right things to sell, those things are going to sell themselves. And through maybe some changes that I make, maybe I just don't sit back and do the same thing that I did last year. Get more proactive about things that will sell better in Q4. I can maybe get ahead of that. So you always want to be in tune with your history. What did you do last year? Now, you may not have sold last year, your first Q4, but keep in mind what worked well this year and what didn't, and kind of make adjustments next year. Basket Noodle says, I like my toilet seat cover to be furry. In fact, in the pure, all the better. If they purr, all the better, like a cat, right? No, that's just a little weird for me. Furriness on the butt doesn't work for me. Let's see. Yvette wants to know if Nick plans for the fourth quarter. I think he does. Based on his comment, I think he does. I think once you get experience under your belt, you have an idea of what you want to buy for the next Q4 versus what you want to stay away from. Karen Reed talk. We'll skip that. Nick says, not specifically sales definitely increase, but they have to be good items, high sell-through rate, price competitive. Yeah. A lot of the things that I like to say on this channel, by the way. Big Dre says, big day at Plus, no sales and one return. Yeah, one return I have to go get from my mailbox. It's one of those things they normally they come here, pick up my packages, but they won't bring my mail. So I got to go walk about half a block down. This guy needs some exercise. So after the live, I'll go get it. What's weird is I had a return. They bought a robot vacuum. It was our robot vacuum. It worked fine. I ended up getting a Roomba with the self cleaning one, the one that it shoots all the stuff it picks up in the little dispenser you clean every 30 days. And it works a lot better than the $100 one that I bought. I think I sold this for like $40. And it worked fine. And she got it and said, yeah, the red light went on, the green light went on. I'm thinking she doesn't know how to use it. But I said, look, open a return. I'll take the return and we'll figure it out. So I hear nothing from her. No eBay notification. And I get a package in the mail. I'm like, what is that? The box looks familiar, but I don't have anything this size coming back to me. Open it up, and this person spent $30 on a label. Now, first of all, I go through eBay, I'll pay for the label, but they went straight to the post office, paid full retail, and they didn't even reach out to me saying, hey, I sent it. They never opened a return. And it's like, really? So I guess I'll just process the return, but it's like, generally I would have preferred you to open a return. Maybe not. Maybe you guys prefer it that way. I don't know. What do you think? Would you rather have someone just ship an item back to you, with a little blurb note on eBay saying, hey, there's a problem? Or would you rather them go through the eBay return process? Silver hair. Well, look, Tuesday live. What the hell? Nobody tells me these things. Yeah. Who knows? I may do a pop-up live on Thursday too, but right now that's not entirely in the cards. I really have to. I was telling a friend of mine, he's one of those guys that he lives 200 miles away. He'll drive into town to play poker for 3 or 4 days, and he'll call me, not beforehand. He'll call me when he's in town and says, hey, I'm in town. It's like, dude, you got to give me a heads up here. I'm already taking time off on Friday for some other friends. I just can't. Well, what about a couple hours? He wants to go to Top Golf. No, I can't. I said, you got to understand, if I'm taking Friday off, I've got to spend the entire day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, not only doing work for those days, but doing the extra work for Friday where I'm not going to be able to be here for. And he really just couldn't understand it. But he also works from home. He does some things that probably aren't so legal, in that, I'll just say it, he runs his own home poker games. So, you're really not supposed to do that, but he makes good money doing it, right? So, Big Dre says, bad day at work. We had that 2 days, 2 returns and no sales. I thought you just said you had 1 return. Maybe I didn't read that right. Basket Noodle says, the only remaining question is how to make that $5 million a month. Thinking Taylor Swift's authentic, touched, and authorized Charmin TOP sheets in action, of course. Or Charmin TOP sheets. I've met Taylor Swift. I've actually given her a hug, and I'll just leave it at that. I think she took my mojo, though. I've always said she took my mojo, because that's when she was just starting. Basket Noodle says, oops, toilet paper sheets. Okay, that's what you meant. Kina, surprise live. Yes, a surprise live. And it was, first of all, let me say thank you. Rhonda's not here, so Jovial Juggler is not here. She sent me an email the other day saying, hey, I came across this. You might want to make a video about it. And a lot of times I like to go on and have a starting topic for any of the lives that I do. So I decided, let's watch the video. Let's take some notes. Let's figure out what changes they're making. And let's bring it to you guys and make you guys aware of the international shipping updates. But also, I really wanted to get out there and just let it be known to the community that, we do have a friend of the community who is actually going through something right now, and just any support you can give would be so much appreciated. Let's see. Basket Noodle says at $5 million a month, I could work 3 months and retire versus just tire. Yeah. I think we all would love that idea of being able to find that thing that we can sell that can get us there. And that's what's intriguing. I don't know if you guys watch Bearded Picker's channel, but he has John on. We call him Grumpy John. And he's very set in his ways because his ways work for him. They've worked for him. And it's amazing listening to this guy's story where within, less than 10 years, he's made something out of nothing, where he's actually, bringing in 4 million a year in sales, and he's making a nice living for himself, and he's getting himself geared up to where he can just pass it on to a group of employees, still collect the money, but to get to enjoy the rest of his life. And that gives me some hope that it's possible. A lot of trial talk. Bobby says, what do for a buyer that states they didn't receive the item, but the tracking information states it was delivered? Then you are golden. So if they open an item not received case, you go in, supply them the tracking number again. I don't know why they ask for it again, but upload the tracking number again. Maybe put a contact buyer message saying tracking shows that this item has been received per eBay seller protection. This is all we are required to do. And that's it. Now, after the date that they give you expires, now eBay is going to determine if they're going to side for the buyer or the seller. and usually they'll say, hey, this was a delivered item. They're going to be on your side with no harm to your account. If they do step in and rubber stamp that thing, saying that they're siding with the buyer, not the seller, then you do need to contact like eBay for Business through Facebook Messenger, or call eBay and say, look, I want the dispute department. This needs to be removed ASAP. You need to give me my money back. And you basically say it's per seller protection, and they will cover you. So don't worry about it. Let the system take its course, and you'll be fine. We got Io Augusto. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. The fish of Bikini Bottom. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Let me help you with that. Let me help you show you out. How about that? Because we're not playing that today. Thank you very much. I may stink, but why would you sit? This is the thing that kills me. I'm not for everyone. I am not for everyone. I am not everyone's cup of tea. There are people that I see in other, like Josh's chats or Beard's chats or others, that may have in the past been in this one. They're no longer here. And you just kind of scratch your head and you kind of realize, yeah, I guess I'm just not for everyone. I say things sometimes that may upset people. And I don't know why, because it's just sharing ideas, right? I don't think I'm really that. Some people might say that I'm kind of just abrasive. Maybe that's the term. But okay, I respect the people that just don't come back. I mean, you see a channel and you're like, I don't really care for what they have to say or how they're saying it. And instead of leaving a nasty, ridiculous comment about saying how this guy stinks, they just go. Why do people just keep watching content when they think the content sucks? Just don't. It just kills me. There's so much content on YouTube. I don't understand why you're wasting your time. Henri Scott says, tailgating toilet. Baskin says it's a commode thing. My dad had one of them. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having them. Jenna actually in her lifetime has used one of these. She was in an accident, a very, very serious one, where she died multiple times on the way to the hospital, and she actually had to use one of these. So I think things that happen to us in life, sometimes we can kind of laugh at, certain things like toilet seats, and we talk about all kinds of things that people laugh about that is kind of, but we laugh about them because we're adults and we know that we're not being serious. We're just laughing at them. Junk Traders is fascinating to me that most insurances don't cover these. This is stuff I need to know for my aging self. LOL. Yeah. Keena says, yes, and I have to watch a channel that lets us say whatever. Some of the channels put you in timeout if you say anything they think is wrong. And, like wrong is like, hey, like if this same person would have came up and said, yeah, this guy stinks. LOL, just kidding. Whatever. Yeah, okay, you're fine. It is what it is. But it's like, really? I mean, is that a productive comment? No. So we move on. Let's see. Travis in Dallas says, I couldn't think of a better way for a hunter to stand out than having an orange toilet seat under their blind. But, you pack it up when you're done. So you just don't want to get shot by another hunter. I think that'd be a great selling point. Keena says, oh, I saw the balloon knot too. I'm watching recaps. Okay, something about a balloon. I don't know anything about that. Craig Winan says it's not just the right stuff. It's the right stuff at the right price. Price is huge. Let's say you buy something that, this is sold well in Q4, but are you looking to see how many people you're up against? Are you seeing what they're pricing the item at? Many times I'll buy an item and I'm kind of like, there's a lot of sellers on this, but I'm looking at it and like, well, they want $200 for it. That's the lowest of all these people that are selling it. I'm only gonna do it for $10. I can go 180, and just let price help me move that item. Let's see. I could tell you can have the highest sell-through rate item in the world, and if you're the highest price, you're gonna have a hard time selling it. That's just the way it is. Keena says, just us trial heads catching up. Oh, I know. You guys are in the sidebar catching up on that trial. I don't know a whole lot about it, even though like Jenna, like when she sees something going on, she'll like freak out about, I can't believe they, did something with the pigs, or I don't know, maybe that was a different trial. I don't know. Jenna says, just us law nerds chatting about the nonsense of the Commonwealth. Todd E says, have an open return is better. Okay. no time limit, right? I know some people that say if I get a return that they don't process through the eBay system, they do nothing. They just let it sit in timeout. I don't know if I do that. Big Dre says, John, you should make a flippin' ain't easy shirt that says knock on particle board. I always laugh when I hear that. Well, it's what it is. It's not really wood. I'd be lying if it was wood. Mike Gerda says, might have been an older person not comfortable with eBay policies. I had one a couple months ago. I talked her through eBay return process over the phone. She paid shipping full price at the post office. It kills me when buyers do that. I don't mind paying for the return label. If there's a problem, that's an item not as described or arrived damage or item broken, whatever it is, but that's still on the seller. It's part of doing business. I have no problem supplying the label. Here it is, send it back. But to see not only that, they paid full retail. Wow. I mean, this robot vacuum was like 40 plus shipping is what they paid. They paid 29 and change for that return label, and they ain't getting it back. I'm not paying them back on it. I got cooties now somehow. How do I have cooties? Why do I have cooties? Basket Noodle says, what one sells at such depends on goals. I generally don't buy anything to sell. I have 17,000 items that are 15 to 20 years old. Also saying back then I was authorized supply chain seller. Stuff I paid $250 to $350 for tends to sell between $20 and $200, albeit not speedy. So you are kind of comfortable sitting on on a lot of the long tail things, and 17,000 items. I'm curious, how many items do you sell a day? Not necessarily the amount, but how many, how much dollar wise, but how many total items would you sell, say, in a day with 17,000? I've kind of always wondered what that looks like. SCG Collectibles. I've been working out in almost 100-degree weather all day. I am the one that stinks right now. LOL. Yeah, and I got to tell you, I came home and I'm still, I changed my shirt for this. I didn't wear the polo shirt that I had on. I had my golf stuff in, but I probably should jump in the shower. I got like sand on my leg from being in the sand trap so much today. Chai Charon says, I think you're pretty down to earth. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Keena says, most people can't handle true honesty. If someone came up to me and said, does this shirt make me look fat? I probably would have a hard time saying, unless I'm really comfortable with you, that's, what if it does? Do you say that it does? I don't know. You're in a tough pickle there, right? Unless you're comfortable with the person, right? My mom used to always ask me that too. Does this shirt make me look fat? And of course, you don't want to say yes, because if you say yes, now she's going to go try 30,000 other shirts. It's like, come on, it's time to go. Let's go. So you, I guess there's moments where you can't be 100% honest. Jake DeWert says, I don't think you're abrasive enough, but I don't want to be abrasive. I don't want to be that guy where I'm just tearing people down. I don't want people to feel like they would tune in here and get shot down. Maybe that person who put that comment, maybe they're just joking, but maybe they just delivered it wrong. I don't know, but I have a lot of people on the block list. I was really considering unblocking everyone and seeing what would happen, but that's a test for another day, I guess. Let's see. SCG Collectibles. We all love Jenna. Yes, we all love Jenna. I appreciate you guys. And she gets a lot of negative flack too. She gets a lot of flack, like when she was laughing at the toilet seats. She got a lot of people saying how insensitive she was, not really even knowing her experience with those things. I think sometimes you see someone say something about something, an experience you went through, and it kind of triggers some people. And what can you do? You really you don't know. I have no way of knowing someone's experience with an item I'm selling on eBay. Christine Anti-Everyone Anderson says, John, I'm abrasive. He was boring. Well, I couldn't tell from looking at your username if you're abrasive or not. Anti-Everyone. No, you're not bad at all. I don't think that you are. Craig Winan says, Basket Noodle, I know how that is. I have stuff I've collected since the late 60s. I could literally never buy another thing again and sell stuff until I died. Now, is there an attachment? I just want to know, if you have things that you've bought over the years, right? Do you place an attachment to these items, which is why you're not as willing to go lower on the price to get them gone? I'm curious about that. I just think I don't want to call it a hoarder's mentality because I don't want to, label anyone like that. But it's similar to that in my mind. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know. Let's see. Keena says, I'm talking about the trial. Okay, I'll move on. Silver Hair, Beard is going to talk about pricing on his show tomorrow morning. So I don't know if I'm going to get up early. I'll probably get up early enough to try to hang out, but I certainly will watch it, even if it's after the fact while I'm working. SCG Collectibles, do more live shows. They help me get sales, John. I will when I can. Like as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to get out and do some work. I got to get some work done. Todd says I had a return 3 months later and he just sent it without opening return. I have 30-day policy, no exceptions. Just sent his loss. Yeah. 3 months later is a little bit too much. I mean, if you I ain't paying money to send it back. If you knew what it was before you open it, maybe do a return to sender. But sometimes you get packages and you don't quite remember what it is. It could be a different return. So you get it. You don't even look at it for like the next day, and you're like, oh crap, I don't even remember this. Sorry, you're not getting a refund if you send it beyond the 30 days. Cooties from Taylor Swift. Basket Noodle says, well, I have 1,000 items listed and usually do about 100 to 120 sales through eBay monthly. Now, back when what I peddle was popular, I'm on a merchant account, sold many places. Average day sell about 100 to 150 items, daily grind. So that's still not bad. 100 to 120 sales through eBay monthly. Are you looking to maybe improve upon that? Or now you only have 1,000 items listed. I think if you have I think 1,000 items, you're going to get like one sale for an everything seller. You get like one sale per 100 per day is so that's a little low, I guess, 100 to 120 sales through eBay a month, right? Maybe you're on the low side. Keena says everyone on social media gets crap from some. It's just how it is. It is. You gotta learn that some people are going to absolutely despise who you are. Every time I put a video out, I get my usual 3 to 4 thumbs down. I have an idea of who's doing it, but it is what it is, right? People are going to hate. What can you do? Nick Rinaldi says, before we start this live, does anyone have a negative or traumatic experience with the toilet seat? Basket Noodle says, no attachment at all. Everything I have was sitting in climate control warehouse for many years. When COVID hit, I decided to address it. There you go. So make that money, get that money, get that stuff out of storage and get it sold. And Honorary Squad just did just that, got the cha-ching. So if you guys hit the like button within the next 24 hours, you're going to get a sale. I don't know how it is. We just put it out there. My only promise to you is if it doesn't happen, the money you spent hitting the like button, I'll refund you. Honorary Squad says no mail tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Am I missing something? Let me know what that is. Hill Valley Vintage, how bad CO? I don't know about that. I maybe got to finish the statement down below. Basket Noodle says, if I drop prices down, likely sell more, but I'm in no particular rush. I don't rely on it per se. Yeah. And then SCG Collectibles says, to Jenna, thank you so much for getting me hooked up with TreeCat. Loving it so far now that I have completely figured it out. Anything that you do that's new, especially these cross-listing programs, it's a learning curve, right? So cross-listing, for those of you guys who aren't always on the lives, we are affiliated with TreeCat. They're one of the cross-listing companies that allow you to get your items quickly listed, quickly as compared to doing it yourself, right? But pushed over to Mercari and Poshmark. And I think if you're just selling on eBay and your sales are slow, limiting yourself just to eBay is quite possibly a mistake, because you're limiting yourselves to just those people. There's a large population of people who will not buy on eBay due to bad experiences in the past or whatever. They're on other sites now, and they have no idea you're selling that item on eBay. So using any kind of software to get your item pushed over is, in my opinion, the way to go, especially if you're trying to get your sales going. And of course, that leads to the link down below through TreeCat. If you want to give them a try, go on and click the link down below and just take a look, see if you like it. Yvette says, by the way, post office is closed Wednesday holiday. What holiday is tomorrow? Oh, is it Juneteenth? think it's Juneteenth, maybe Juneteenth. So I think that sounds right to me. So good to know. No mail tomorrow, guys. And eBay will not require you to ship tomorrow if you have same day or next day shipping. So just keep that in mind. Flip the Thrifts is starting to move a lot of my inventory in bulk from big purchases because they pile up fast, like storage units and buyouts. Yeah. If you have things that are just sitting and not really moving, you got to get creative. And one way to do that is through bulk sales. So whether that's marketplace, sometimes you can do it on eBay. I do try to bulk like similar sized items, for instance, like women's large. If you have a bunch of women's large, whatever, put them out in one listing. Chances are someone's looking for, women's large. And that's one way to go about it. Dark Horse Productions says, yes, eBay has really damaged the reputation. They have for many people. That's why I have, and it's sometimes not even eBay's fault. eBay's fault for a lot of things that they do. Let's not, excuse them for the way they've been with the last 2, 3 or more years. But let's just face it. There's no vetting sellers as they come onto the platform. Someone has no idea that you shouldn't ship in a cereal box, a glass item in a cereal box, right? They just think that's the easiest way for them to take care of this chore of shipping. Or they don't know how to deal with buyers. They just are nasty. They maybe don't even answer messages. And this buyer's like, I don't need this. I can take my business elsewhere. And guess what? That sale is gone. The next sale is gone for you and I because that person had a bad experience. And that's why I believe eBay should vet, or at least do like Whatnot, give new sellers a 30-minute best practices orientation, and then let them loose. Garden Resells, LMAO, Juneteenth. I don't get 11/2 for that junk. I know what 11/2 is, but Juneteenth is, I believe, tomorrow. And that means that no shipping. If you have normally do daily shipping like us, we get Jenny gets a reprieve. Her arms get a break tomorrow. Dark Horse Productions says, great advice. I have Mercari and eBay primed and ready. Yes. SCG says, TreeCat is so much cheaper than the rest of the cross-listing apps, John. They are in the sense that look at it like this. From 0 to 30 items sold, you're paying 50 cents for the D-list. So if you sell it on Mercari, they're going to take it off of eBay, right? You sell it on Poshmark, they're going to take it off of eBay. Let's say you have it on all the 3 sites. It's going to be removed. When we get a sale, like I got a sale on Posh today, I don't have to worry about looking at it. I don't have to go to eBay and see if it's been removed because I know the program's going to do the work. That's having a VA do the work for you. There's people right now that still employ people overseas to, like in the Philippines, like $3-4 an hour to oversee these kind of things, right? To help them cross list without a cross lister. That some of these older cross listers don't even have that ability. TreeCat does. Also, what's really cool, eBay doesn't even do this. You can list an item and say, on this particular item, every week I want it to end and relist, which is the same as end and sell similar, so that you're getting that new item boost every week on that item. And that, I'm telling you guys, having a new item boost on an item does help. It gets a little bit better exposure in the search, and it certainly does help you get more sales. So check out TreeCat, and they have other features coming too. There's a lot of people who sell on Poshmark and use the VA. I think, what is it called? Posher VA. They pay $25 a month for. Well, they're going to be putting out a tool that's going to replace that. So it's all covered in that 50 cents every time you make a sale. Now, over 30 sales, guess what? Your price goes down. It goes down to like 35 cents. And by using the link down below, you get the best rates. Silver Hair, okay, found it and made a little donation. Let's go to help. Yeah, certainly. If you have the ability to go and help out Ed, do go over, use the link down below to his channel, or to the GoFundMe link. And if you can't, even if you can, still go to his channel after we're done and you give him a shout out and a little bit of love. And I think that'll go a long way too. Robert, thank you. Juneteenth, I'm out of bubble wrap. LOL. We're out of 3-inch tape. It better be here pretty soon. Basket Noodle says, I forgot that holiday. I have 350 and 150 order I was going to send tomorrow. Crap. Oh, you were going to put it off till tomorrow. Well, eBay's not expecting you to ship it tomorrow. So it's the same if you ship it on Thursday. Oh, the 3-inch tape did come. Okay, good. Garden Resale says time and a half job. Oh, for the holiday tomorrow. Yeah. If you are like I was a union employee, we actually had time and a half. If you were forced to work, you got double time and a half. Holiday equals no work. Oh, wait, we sell 24/7, 365 a year, no time off for us. And that's the good thing about reselling that a lot of people don't talk about. You usually get paid 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. So 5 days worth of pay. And then you get 2 days off where you don't get paid for nothing. It's your time. You're not getting paid. Reselling, guess what? You're doing it right. You're getting paid every day. And that's the great thing about it. Andy Spicer says eBay really needs to give sellers a way to get advice. I occasionally run into something odd, and I've been on eBay for many, many years. And it's hard, very difficult to get a hold of a rep that either A, can do more than the basics, and B, even point you in the right direction if they can't answer your question. So you're kind of left like, what do I do? And then a lot of times you can go onto like Facebook and find a group that maybe you can post your problem to. That might be a way to do it. Glenn Cameron says, I launch, package, ship, source, clean, research, pictures, draft, repeat. In between, I cook, clean, watch, cast, repeat pretty much every day. Go Oilers, go. Well, that sounds like my life. Maybe not as in that order, but certainly it's very similar. Jenna got 2 sales. Awesome. I like to think it's the activity that we're starting to put on there daily on that second account. Kid Wilson, 33. I'm sorry about Juneteenth is a terrible name for an actual holiday. I think it could have been better. I don't know where it has to come from somewhere, but it is what it is. I think Juneteenth doesn't really explain, in name why it's there. I know what Juneteenth is for, but I think there's a lot of people are going, what does that mean? So, yeah, I think they could have done better to explain it. Chai Charan says, I did promote a dynamic listing on all 1,300 items, and now my views are up 50%. Sales are up, so it's not a myth. It's not. eBay is trying to make money, guys. They're trying to make money. We call it, a lot of us call it greed, right? Greed bay or fee bay, but they're trying to make money. That is their ultimate goal in doing this. They're not a charity. And just like our goal is to make as much money as we can for every item we buy. We could buy an item for $5, sell it for 15. But if it's selling for 100, why aren't we trying, right? Are we greedy for trying to sell it for 100 when you could technically sell it for 15? And I know it's not quite the same, but eBay's in the business to make money, and they're going to prop up the people that are playing the game that makes them money. And if you're not playing the game to make them money, you're not going to do as well in most cases. Garden Resell, Juneteenth, no time and a half. Boo. Basket is true. I ship every 3 days basically. I like to spend Thursday, Saturday through Saturday at our seasonal camp and have a time. You have a time. That sounds fun. Is that up in the mountains, or is there any fishing involved? That sounds really fun. Garden Resell Thrifts, yes, they need a better name. Andy Spicers, I'd really like to be able to ask a question and get a documented response that I can point to when something goes wrong. Yeah. Then why don't you check out eBay for Business on Facebook Messenger and do it that way. So that way you get a documented response, and they have been fairly decent in the past. You may not get an instant answer, though. It may take a day to get someone to reply to you. Kid Wilson, if your item has been up for 45 days, do you delete and make a brand new listing, or just let it renew auto? I don't let it renew auto. What I do now is, on my main account, is not attached to any cross-listing software, because I really only cross-list to Bonanza, which I get a sale maybe once every month, and it has one built in. It takes 10 minutes to set up. Is worth doing it, by the way. It doesn't cost anything, and one extra sale a month is pretty nice to have. My second account we have linked with TreeCat over to Poshmark and Mercari, and we utilize the end item sell similar process a lot on that through the software. Jenna has it set up. On my main account, though, I have to do it manually. And I like to do it right before, a day before that item's going to auto renew, like every 29 days, 30 days, when you're looking at that item and it's in red, like this has like 24 hours left or 22 hours left, it's in red. I then take that item, all the items that are within that day, and I'll end it, and I will sell similar. So what I do is I do the drop down, I right click on sell similar, it populates me a tab, and then I go down in the same drop down and hit end. Okay, so it ends it. You got to end it before you sell similar, because it'll say, no, you got the same item shipped twice or listed twice. Go in, make your changes to it that need to be changed. Maybe it's the price. Maybe you need a better photo in the first slot. Maybe the price is wrong, whatever. Figure out why it's still there and then launch it, and you get the new item boost. Do that, I'd say, at least once every month. Do not let eBay auto renew your listings, because it's going to use the same number of listings either way. I'd rather be the one to do it and get the new item boost. Genesis, send John an email at flippingateasy2020@gmail.com. Yeah, send me an email, and I'm glad to help whenever I can. But I think he's looking for an official eBay response that he can go back to and say, I was told. Carla Gracia says, hello, John. 14-hour day of eBay reselling work today. Today was a long day. Don't mind, though, as time flies fast when you're doing what you love. Yes, it's amazing how fast days go by. That's for sure. Basket Noodle says, our seasonal camp is on the Finger Lakes of New York State. Lots of good people hanging out, listen to music, have some cocktails, talk, fun, dancing, cookouts, etc. That sounds great. And you're over by the racetrack, too, Finger Lakes. Chai Charon says, there is a complete opposite eBay reseller YouTuber. Justin resells. He's all about ROI and never discounts things to get money flowing like you do. I go back and forth with strategies. A lot of it depends on what you're selling. I can tell you this. I am not going to be as aggressive with, like, let's say, video games, like a popular video games versus, I mean, I got to get aggressive with these toilet seats. What helps my item sell? I am not interested in holding on to these things. So if that means I got to use eBay's tools to be more competitive, and that's what it is, competition, then I'm going to. But not all items do you need to be that competitive with. Basket Noodle says, it's all nestled pretty deep in the woods. $1,600 for a season is dirt cheap. Not a lot of amenities, but lots of great times. You can't, I mean, $1,600 for memories. It's you can't beat that. That's awesome. Nick says, there's mental peace in accepting eBay doesn't care about you. It's a tool to make money. Promoted listings are like buying a more powerful drill bit. You're paying extra to utilize the tool. And just rest assured, though, that you're doing that, your competition is refusing to. And that's a benefit to you. I mean, I sit up here all day and try to tout promoted listings, not because I'm a shill for eBay. I'm really just trying to tell you guys what works. And, you know, there's benefits to promoting your listings. And if you're not making sales, that could be why you're not. Hill Valley Vintage, how bad did you feel for Rory? That was so tough to watch. Yeah, he missed the 3-foot putt. So I was making, like, we were playing with some people, and I was making the putt, the short putts, because they wanted like the easy putts, like the 3-inch putt, 3-foot putts. Oh, that's a gimme. I'm like, well, you can ask Rory about that. And we were paying for money, but I was just kind of using that as a kind of way to kind of make light of it. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine? Now, I'm not feeling that bad for him. Second place in the U.S. Open, you're still winning what, like $5 million? But it's the prestige that goes along with winning the whole thing that probably is just, you know, made him feel bad. Nicotana says, Puerto Rico is Commonwealth of USA. It is. And, you know, we would normally think that international shipping for Puerto Rico or even like Alaska or Hawaii, but it is a strategy that if you have a large item that you're like, no, I refuse to ship this large item to those places because it's going to cost too much. Well, this is a strategy to where all you have to do now is ship it to Illinois. And if the buyer wants it bad enough, they'll pay the extra shipping. Garden and Resells, Finger Lakes is fun. I'm up in Rochester with this darn heat. Yeah, it is. It is hot up there, from what I understand. Even Josh Galt is like, this is hot. Andy Spicer, how do you determine the percentage for your promoted listings? I generally do anywhere between 7 and 10%, depending on what the item is. But what you could do, if you have the listing quality report, you go into the listing quality report and it'll show you your top 10 categories. You can see what average promoted rate that the top 10% of sellers in that category are using. And I like to be above that. So a lot of times it's like right around 6% for the ones I've seen for my own. I like to be above that. Nick Rinaldi says, eBay is never going to say we're making a few extra millions on promoted listings, but a guy on YouTube said it's not fair. We better stop this ASAP. Just have to accept mega corporations exist for money. They do. They do. And it's their sandbox. And we have to accept that if we want to do better on their platform, we need to play within the rules. Use their tools, use their sales. I mean, they have it for a reason. They have information and data for a reason. Use it, look at it. A lot of people don't want to do that. It's too much work. But the ones that are willing to do the work and understand how their items fit within the whole scheme of things are going to do better than the ones that just list items. So that is the end of the live. I think we're at the end point of the comments. So I think that's a perfect place to end because I do need to get some work done. So check out the video down below if you want to know more about the changes with the international shipping program. That's a very informative video and will kind of maybe answer questions that I couldn't answer. Also, be a good time. If you have a moment, go check out Ed's channel. Go to the video he made last night. Links down below. Listen to what he has to say. It's like a 15-20 minute video, and show him some support in the comments. And if you have the ability to just donate $5, a few bucks, wipe out the tip that they want. By the way, use that slider and wipe out the tip for GoFundMe. It's pointless. Send him some money. Help him out. And, you do good things for people, good things are going to come back to you. I'm a firm believer of that. And you're going to feel better about yourself, I think. I sure did. So thank you guys for considering that. And thank you for being here for this live and, figuring out how all this works and maybe taking some things in our life for granted, that we have a house. I have a house. That's not, that's still here. And I think we take that for granted. And figuring all that out is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Bad analogy, I know. But I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day. No Friday live. Sorry, guys. Maybe a pop-up live on Thursday. Juneteenth tomorrow. No shipping. Remember that. And until next time, have an excellent rest of your day. Take care, everyone.